Episode 12, A Date Begins. Beep! 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 The alarm blared through the room like a fire drill in a library. Aya, buried under a fortress of blankets, groaned and reached out like a zombie in search of brains, only to slam her hand blindly against the nightstand until the noise stopped. 5 more minutes. She mumbled. And just like that, she was out again, slipping into a dreamland that felt suspiciously romantic. In her dream, the sun was shining, the weather was perfect, and she and Alex were out together. Laughing. Walking. Smiling. A date. A real one. But somewhere deep in Aya's subconscious, a red flag waved frantically. It's just a friendly date, she reminded herself. Friendly. Then Dream Alex reached for her hand. Nope. No holding hands, Aya muttered in her sleep, eyes twitching. Then Dream Alex leaned in. No kisses, she suddenly yelled, out loud. Aya jolted upright in bed, hair wild, blanket wrapped around her like a burrito. That was way too realistic, she said, wiping her face. She grabbed her phone. 9:30 a.m. Their date starts at 10. She leapt from the bed like a cat who'd just seen a cucumber. Now, oh, she screamed, clutching her head as her voice echoed through the whole house like a death wail. Huffing and puffing, Aya finally arrived at the meeting place, just barely on time. Alex, who had been waiting quietly, took a step forward, concern written all over his face. But Aya quickly held out her hand, palm up, silently signaling him to stay back as she bent forward, trying to catch her breath. Did you run? Alex asked, raising an eyebrow. He glanced at her outfit, stylish and well put together despite the chaos of her arrival. Aya wore a chic hat and a long jacket that almost reached her knees. From the corner of his eye, he noticed the black stockings she wore underneath, which could only mean she had paired them with shorts, or something equally daring beneath. I was curious what you'd end up wearing, Alex added with a playful grin. Yeah, I did run. I woke up really late, Aya replied between gasps, still catching her breath. When she finally looked up, she caught a glimpse of Alex's soft smile and the faintest sound of him chuckling. I actually thought about knocking on your door to wake you up, he said, scratching his head with his index finger. But when I heard nothing, I figured you were still deep in sleep, and well, I got shy. Aya let out a small sigh. It's okay. That's on me anyway. But seriously, where are we going? We even agreed to meet outside. This is too much, you know. Alex laughed. Let's warm up first, he said. And just like that, they made their way to the nearest coffee shop to start the day. Welcome to the Distillery district, by the way, my dear old Alex, Aya said with a smirk, her tone playful yet slightly teasing. Alex looked around, impressed. This place is amazing. There are so many shops. Aya paused for a moment. Her smirk faded. Wait, this isn't a date. It's a tour. A friendly tour. He's just a visitor, and I'm just the guide. That's all. She nodded to herself. Think like a tour guide, Aya. Keep it professional. Definitely not romantic. Nope. Alex glanced at her. She had suddenly gone quiet. He raised an eyebrow, only to catch her eyes darting toward him, sharp and sly, like a fox plotting its next move. He felt a chill. "I've got a bad feeling about today," he muttered under his breath. Unbeknownst to the two, a trio of familiar faces lurked nearby, half hidden behind a street lamp and a stack of crates. "This is bad, Geneva. We're gonna get caught," Terrence whispered. Geneva sighed. "The only suspicious one here is you. What are you even wearing? You look like a burglar. Lose the bonnet." Terrence adjusted his hood nervously. Just then, Big Mike approached with a large, uncut baguette slung over his shoulder like a weapon. Geneva blinked. "That's just a plain baguette. There's nothing inside it." "I need carbs. Energy," Big Mike replied without shame. "Isn't that meat?" Terrence asked, tilting his head at the bread. Geneva stared at the two of them and let out a long, exasperated sigh. She had a feeling this was going to be a long day for all of them. "This right here is the clock tower," Aya said with bright enthusiasm, raising her hand toward the landmark like a practiced host. "To my right, you'll see John Fluvog, very stylish shoes, if you must know, and to my left is one of my favorites. Balzac's coffee. Yum yum." Just behind them, close enough to hear but hidden well enough to not be noticed, Geneva stared in disbelief. Is she actually doing a tour guide routine? What the heck is this? Geneva whispered, half annoyed, half stunned. Beside her, Big Mike and Terrence both nodded, impressed. "She's good," they said in unison, quietly amused. Aya continued, leading the way with a bounce in her step. "This street is Trinity. It really brings out the charm of old Toronto. Just look at these shops." Alex walked beside her with a calm smile, quietly entertained. Aya was pointing out all the spots she liked, but offering no actual historical or tourist context. "She's just naming whatever she sees," Terrence whispered. "She is from here, right?" Geneva asked, narrowing her eyes while following behind, Big Mike and Terrence trailing with her like a stealthy, but not really stealthy, crew. As they continued walking, Alex suddenly stopped beside a store window and looked toward Aya. "Master Tour Guide Aya, it's way too cold out here," he said with a playful shiver. Aya turned to him, her eyes wide. In her mind, panic hit like a snowball to the face. Is he freezing? Am I doing a bad job? This was supposed to be a fun day. She quickly scanned the nearby shops, then caught sight of the familiar sign in front of Izumi. Her face lit up. "Let's head inside," she said, regaining her energy. "Let's see if they accept walk-ins for a tasting visit." With renewed confidence, Aya led the way in. She approached one of the staff members with her best polite tone. The employee greeted her with a warm smile and a nod. Aya turned back to Alex and pumped her fist subtly. "Success!" Alex just smiled, quietly admiring how seriously she was taking her role as a self-appointed tour guide. Inside, they wandered through the tasting area, surrounded by shelves of sake bottles. They sampled a few, slow, measured sips turning into shared laughter. "Try this one," Aya said, holding out a tiny glass. "It's sweet." "Really? Let's see." Alex leaned in to take a sip. Aya didn't move back. For a moment, they were just close. Neither said anything about it. Neither needed to. It was just one of those quiet, happy moments. Later, they stood by the shop section, looking over items on display. Those sakewares look nice, Alex commented, pointing to a set. Yeah. I think Master would like this, Aya said, smiling. Let's get it for him. You've got some prize money, right? Well, yeah. I did come second, she replied with a proud little smirk. You lost to Geneva, Alex teased. Second place sounds better, Aya shot back. They both laughed. Just then, the same employee from earlier passed by and paused. Wait. Are you the snooker player, Aya? Alex grinned before Aya could say anything. Yup. That's her. She lost to Geneva, though. I came second. Aya snapped. They all laughed as the employee offered to take a photo for them. Outside the shop, Aya chuckled, shaking her head. She had no idea you were ranked number 1? That's crazy. I don't really go around announcing it, Alex replied. Plus, it's a niche sport. But if she recognized you, she probably plays too. Yeah. I think so too. The two continued walking, checking out one more shop along the way. By now, it was nearly lunchtime. With most places already visited, they stopped and considered where to eat. Aya, still trying to play her part, crossed her arms and tapped her chin thoughtfully. Just then, her phone buzzed. It was a message from Geneva. Do not forget, the Chase fish and oyster. Reservation confirmed. Aya blinked, then gave a small nod. Well, seems like she set up our lunch spot. Alex gave a small smile in return. As they hailed a taxi, he turned to glance behind them, toward the street corner. Almost instinctively, he gave a slight nod. A silent farewell. Does he know we're watching? Geneva whispered. Terrence crossed his arms. You know how cautious he is. Geneva squinted at Big Mike beside them. Or maybe it's because this walking mountain is a giant red flag, she muttered. To be continued. See you next time.